Welcome back. We're here with Jenny Pippin from Pippin Home Designs, and I have had the pleasure of seeing her green home. I cannot believe all the detail in there, but thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm really excited to hear about this, what it means to be green.
So you're a green design and building consultant. What does that mean? What does it entail? What's your specialty?
Basically, I've had a lot of education through the NC's North Carolina State University program. They have a green building consulting. They do renewable energy technology diplomas, and so I have both of those diplomas, as well as the National Home Builders Association has a program for certified green professionals. So I've become a certified green professional, and I offer design services in conjunction with helping people figure out how to make their homes more environmentally friendly.
And do you do new construction as well as kind of retrofitting existing
yes, we
structures?
Do. Yes, yes.
And what kinds of things do you focus on when you're looking at a green building or improving the greenness of an existing structure?
Right. The main projects that we're working on right now are renovations, and we look at overall efficiency of the structure itself. You know, does it have adequate insulation? Are the windows in need of being replaced? About their appliances, do they need to upgrade maybe to a new refrigerator? And having a blower door test or a duct blaster test to see how tightly sealed the building envelope is, and then seeing what kind of energy improvements they need to make on those
now you
areas.
Kind of did something, you took a 1968 home and turned it into a green home.
Yes.
You made some substantial changes on
yes,
that.
we did.
So what were some of the big things that you did that really impacted the house from where it was to where you have it now with how green it is?
Well, one of the main things that we did was recycle the existing home. And keeping that instead of just tearing it down and starting over was a very green thing to do. So we actually took the roof off of the original structure and built on top of it. So we minimized the impact of the footprint on the existing site. And so we were able to maintain a lot of the existing landscaping that was there. And then we went in and really redid all of the insulation. We went with Energy Star windows, and we actually added solar panels on the roof too, so that we could generate our own electricity and our solar hot water.
Wow. Is it all solar powered or just solar supported?
Solar supported, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually sell all of our electricity that we generate back to Duke Power through the NC Green Power program.
Oh wow,
That's interesting.
Yeah, so but we maintain a little bit of it to trickle charge a bank of batteries, so that if Duke Power goes down, then we still have electricity in the house for a few lights and outlets, the refrigerator and the well pump, so we always have water.
Now if somebody's on a budget and doesn't have the green home, but they want to start to go in that direction, what are some of the initial things that you can do that aren't that expensive, but that can start you on that path of becoming green?
Well, one of the things we like to tell people is, you know how people lose heat in the wintertime through the top of their head. So they really need to look in their attic and see if it needs to have extra insulation added. In most cases, if it's an older home, they do need to improve the insulation in the attic, and that's generally a relatively inexpensive thing they can do. The other thing is looking at the plumbing fixtures. If they can switch out to low flow faucets and toilets, those kinds of things will really help to save water for them. And also adding a rainwater harvesting system. If they can put, you know, just rain barrels at the bottom of downspouts, you know, and utilize that to water the lawn. And then looking at things like adding gaskets behind light switches and wall outlets, which will help improve how leaky the house is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the return on investment? Because sometimes you really get back what you invest in, let's say, a more energy efficient heating and cooling system, plus there's some tax credits you can get, isn't that right?
Yes, there are. Yeah, and it really depends on how green you want to be. If you just, for instance, went through the house and switched out your 6 most used light bulbs to either a compact fluorescent or an LED, which is what we really recommend now, it can make a huge impact in your monthly power bill. So in terms of investment, you can spend a lot of money and wait, you know, a number of years to get your investment back, or you can spend minimal money and start seeing the benefits right away in terms of your monthly savings. So you don't have to spend a fortune to make your home green. And then adding a recycling center in your kitchen is another great idea.
It was really interesting too, because we actually did a walkthrough on your house a couple weeks ago. Not only has she made a lot of changes to go green, but the artwork is even using a lot of recycled things. I mean, it was interesting. I mean, you can point on some of them, but like you had doors that became picture frames, and
Yes.
you reused a lot of different things. I think you said you pulled some stuff out of a neighbor's trash can and turned it into this ladder, or I can't. You have to.
Yes,
give
yeah,
us some
it
of the. It was really interesting.
Our neighbor has a lot of bamboo on their property, and they
Okay.
tend to cut it down and burn it because they had more than they wanted. So we salvaged some and turned it into a towel bar for our bathroom. And then we found an antique hand crank washing machine that we turned into the pedestal for our powder room sink. And
neat
you know,
ideas.
there's lots of things like that people can do, and finding a way to repurpose items rather than trashing them and starting over is a great way, you know, to save on landfill too.
Now, you've won a tremendous amount of awards. We probably could spend an hour talking about how many different awards you've won for all the things that you've done. So you've won 30 something, or is that right?
39 now.
39.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
And you have
Yeah.
a website that people could go to find
Yes.
out more information, and you've got packages that people could ask for. So why don't you give the viewers your website address to start with?
Okay. Yes, I actually have two websites. Pippin Home Designs, it's Pippin, Home Designs with an S.com, and ProjectLiveGreen.com. And both of those have excellent information about green building, as well as photos of before and after projects that we've done too.
Okay, well, so a lot of great ideas. I mean, and you have pictures as well of your house and
Yes.
all the different things that you've done. And I mean, it's definitely a trend. We're seeing more and more. Everybody's talking about it every day. There's articles and
Yes, and we constantly give tours at our home for
Okay.
people that want to learn more about how they can incorporate various elements into their house. So we have it open on a regular basis for people to come through.
Well,
and
if you-
I would say we probably have had about 800 people so far.
Wow. Well, it's
Yeah.
beautiful, and it shows beautiful, and it's so bright and open, and
Thank you.
a lot of neat ideas in
Thank
there.
you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.